We're doing this. It's happening. This is like take number 4 or 5. I don't know. I think it's take 4. We're going to try it again. Yeah. Welcome to Layers. This is a new podcast that I'm starting here, mostly focused on design and stuff like that. But before we get into that, let me introduce myself and kind of explain who I am and my history in this field. My name is Casey Vitelli. If you follow me on social media, you know that I love designing uniforms. I design probably too many of them. I think last year, a total, I had over 400 jersey designs. That's a lot for a year. Um, and I'm still going, still doing it. There's not much left in the tank, probably, but you know what? I'm doing my best and trying to come up with some designs that are nice, refreshing, and new. They don't always hit. Well, they probably mostly don't hit. Anyway, my history, though, with all this, I've been designing uniforms ever since 2003. It's been more and more as of recent, but back then it was just kind of like here and there, little thing I was do here. Um, NBA Live 2003 when that came out, you know, probably the greatest EA Sports basketball game. You can quote me on that one. I'm gonna live to the grave with that one. I found out how you modify the uniforms, so I took that. I learned Photoshop, a very basic, cheap version back in the day. It wasn't as advanced as it is today. And I designed uniforms for like a Coke versus Pepsi kind of deal. It was easy. It was fun. My my aunts and my parents were like, "Oh, that's pretty cool. That's way to go." They have to say that. It was nothing great. I don't have evidence of that anymore. I don't know where those files are on a very old computer way back in the day. But slowly but surely, that grew. I kept doing it, still doing it, and now I've gotten to a phase where I feel I'm pretty decent. I'm actually getting clients to kind of just mock up some designs or even possibly make a uniform for their team to wear. That's me, basically me. It's me. Yep, I'm gonna keep this in. This is just first episode vibes. I've done a bunch of takes. This is the best one so far, so we're gonna keep all that nonsense in there. Let's talk about the podcast. What is this podcast? What does it entail? What are we gonna do here? So the basic idea of this podcast is going to be mostly design centric. We're going to be talking to other designers in all aspects of sports, other designs. We'll even have some logo makers and possibly even some like physical designing artists, not just like graphic design, sports, and all that. Bring them in, talk to them about their life, what got them into it, what their favorite things are, and why do they keep doing it, what and their love for the actual design arts. We'll be talking about other things too, not just design, mostly design, but we'll have like some tangents, maybe in some episodes talking about maybe new Marvel movies coming out, like February 14th, Captain America. I'm not sponsored to say that. I'm just saying that because I'm looking forward to it. I watch all the Marvel movies. I'll just put that there. So there might be times where we tangent off to Marvel, maybe even some Linkin Park references because I'm a big Linkin Park fan. By the way, if you haven't been watching or listening, they're back. They are back. I don't care what anyone else says. Linkin Park is back, and yes, we'll even do this challenge that we have that I've done in the past before on YouTube. I haven't done it in a couple years now. I think actually last one I did was January of 23. I don't quote me on that. I've done a 1-5-10 design challenge where basically I designed 3 uniforms, one in 1 minute, one in 5 minutes, and one in 10 minutes, and see what I can come up with in that time. We're not going to do the 1 minute. That's no too much. That's too hard for the guests. 10 minutes might be a little too long, so we're going to give each designer 5 minutes an episode with a template actually from our sponsor. If you follow me on social media, you know I like to design uniforms. Maybe a little too much. Luckily, Proline mockups make it very easy. We've got professionally made 4K Photoshop mockup templates that look amazing and are super easy to work with. They don't take up a lot of disk space, making it easy on your computer. From jerseys to helmets, individual pieces to complete uniforms, we've got everything you need to take your design to the next level. You want to try for yourself? Head on over to Proline Mockups and grab a template today. Even better, you can save 10% by using code LAYERS at checkout. Head on over to Proline Mockups today. Now back to the podcast. This podcast will be an open book. We'll talk about whatever we want, mostly leaning on the side of design, but personal life might happen. Maybe I want to just take an episode event. Maybe I just want to talk about, like I said, Marvel movies, Linkin Park, other things that I like to do besides design. I like music too in general. I play. Anything can happen. So I hope you stick around and listen to these episodes. They're gonna be a little longer than this one. That's just kind of an introduction, kind of get you into the idea of the podcast. But we got some guests coming up. We have Pete Rogers for next episode. Nice. If you know Pete Rogers, if you're following him, please follow him. Besides that, yeah, we're gonna be here. Hope you stick around, and I hope you enjoy the moments we share on Layers.